drought order. Water levels in the island's 6 wells are still dropping, and a hosepipe ban has been in force since May. The problem is said to be worse than this time last year, when the islands faced a serious water shortage. Officials are considering plans to ship water from the mainland, though a similar attempt last year was abandoned when it became contaminated with seawater. An appeals guide...
This is the second year we've had a drought problem, so they are at the moment employing consultants to look at the type of machinery that would be suitable for these purposes in giving us more water during the peak holiday months.
Well, that machine to purify brackish water would cost the council £100,000, and it's still too late to save the situation this year. The islands are getting through more than 100,000 gallons of water every day, and it's all coming out of just 4 wells. So now it's down to the people. To get through their dry summer, they'll have to cut consumption by more than 25%. It's a tall order for a dry island.
The news desk for the moment. I'll be back as usual with the headlines later on. Now, Sue.
Thank you, Dominic. A Dorset village is rallying round an elderly farming couple who are facing eviction. Nearly 500 neighbours have signed a petition.
Good evening. The water shortage in the Isles of Scilly is now even more critical than at the same time last year, and the authorities may have to start shipping in water. It's the second serious drought in succession, and the council has now been forced to consider buying a desalination plant.
As the parched Isles of Scilly bask in the unwelcome heat of yet another glorious day, visitors and islanders are reminded wherever they go of the need to save water. The exceptionally dry spring meant the underground water supply was never fully replenished after the last drought, and the water levels in the wells that supply the bulk of the Scilly's population on St Mary's are now half a metre lower than at the same time last year. A sign outside the town hall informs people of the relentless downward progress of water levels, which get closer and closer to the danger situation. The council has already reduced the pressure in the pipes and has a drought order enabling it to switch the supply off altogether for up to 48 hours. Last year, an emergency plan to ship water in from the mainland was practiced. There's now a threat that this could become a reality.
Yes, if we don't get the continued cooperation of the public in keeping our consumption down, that is the final solution. But we hope that we don't get to that stage because it's so expensive to ship water into these islands.
But unhappily, this is the second year the council has been in a crisis situation over water. They now have to find a way of increasing the supply to prevent this from becoming an annual problem.
The council realise they can't go on like this, can't expect continued cooperation from the public and the holiday trades businesses. So they have got consultants looking at this matter for us, and they are preparing a report on a desalination plant of a type suitable for these islands.
That would bolster the supply during the summer, but won't solve all the Scilly's water problems. The water currently contains about 1.5 times the EEC safe limit of nitrates. Small babies have to be supplied with specially deionized water, and this situation also has to be rectified.
The government have said that we've got to get our nitrate level down to below the EEC levels, and the same consultants are looking at that problem as well for us, and we'll have to have another piece of equipment to take the nitrate level down, take the nitrates out of the water.
It's important that both pieces of equipment are installed before next summer, but together they'll cost around £250,000, and the council is
more critical, and we've just got through almost by luck. And last year it was a storm in the middle of the summer that saved us. This year we are the worst position we've ever been before, and this is the start of the season.
The island's council rejected 2 other schemes as uneconomic. They were shipping water in from the mainland and installing 1,000-gallon rainwater tanks outside every home. The desalination plant will cost £263,000, with a further £75,000 required for running costs. And now the race is on to install it by June, when the island's boreholes are forecast to run dry.
In the past, water diviners have found some water on St Mary's and Briar, but never in enough volume to solve Scilly's perennial water shortage problem. The long-term solution is all around, and now the time's come to drink it. Seawater will be piped from coastal boreholes to a desalination plant by the island's pumping station, and the resultant fresh water will be pumped through the mains. But if the work is not completed in 6 weeks, the boreholes will be empty.
It's going to be quite critical whether the plant is ready in time before we have to actually shut down our wells for fear of drawing in the seawater. We do have the other contingency available of bringing water in via these ships.
Islanders and holidaymakers are well aware of the looming drought, and everyone knows what they must do to conserve dwindling water supplies.
Running less water when you're brushing your teeth, for example. Maybe not flushing the toilet every time. Having a shower instead of a bath, and if you do have a bath, obviously you want it sort of shallow.
We haven't got a shower, but we have been using very shallow baths.
And sharing.
And sharing. Yeah, we've been sharing. We've been sharing baths.
Now the tourist season is underway, demand is climbing while supplies are falling. Visitors to Scilly are always told to save water, but it's becoming a repetitive litany.
One always has a little bit of a worry that if it continues year after year after year after year, that they may be less receptive. But generally speaking, yes, they are. I think they realise that coming to an island, we're bound to have water shortage problems, and particularly with an island as small as this.
In the long term, the island's drinking water will be far purer than it is now. Intensive horticulture has led to such high levels of fertiliser nitrates in borehole water that babies are given purified water from a special council supply. The sea will provide for Scilly this summer, but more rain is needed.